So we'll start our considerations of the relationship between the Father and the Son in the first chapter of the Bible, Genesis chapter 1. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, we find twice that plural pronouns are used to refer to the noun of God. The Bible says, "Let us make man in our image." In verse 27, we find that twice singular pronouns are used to refer to the noun God. Here we see God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Twice singular pronouns are used to refer to the noun of God. Also, in verse 26, we find a plural pronoun being used to refer to the noun of man. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. According to this, man is plural. But then in verse 27, God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. That's a singular pronoun used to refer to the noun of man. But then we turn around immediately and find male and female created he them. So we find here a mixing and matching, a switching between plural pronouns and singular pronouns to refer to man. But then also we saw the same thing of a switching between the plural pronouns and the singular pronouns in reference to God. So from one perspective, man is plural. From another perspective, man is singular. From one perspective, God is plural. From another perspective, God is singular. In this same context, we have it stated that man was made in the image of God. Now, the Bible isn't explicit about what that means when it says the man is made in the image of God. At least part of it is probably due to the dominion that man receives. In the same way that God has dominion over the universe, man is given dominion over this planet. And Psalms 8 seems to suggest that. But there's another aspect, I believe, to this image that we can learn from chapter 5 of Genesis. Verse 3, Moses says that Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness, after his image. Seth is made in the likeness and after the image of Adam, using the same words that he used to describe the way in which man is made after the likeness and image of God. Now, I don't believe that this likeness and image is referring to the dominion that Seth had, because Seth, of course, did not have the same dominion that his father Adam had. It's probably referring to the nature of Seth. You could look at Seth and learn something about Adam. Seth probably looked like Adam, carried himself, spoke like his father. And so you could look at the likeness and the image of Seth and learn something about Adam. Similarly, it seems very reasonable that in the same way you can look at something about the nature of man and learn something about the nature of God. Particularly, it suggests that in the way that man is both singular and plural, God also is singular and plural. And perhaps it seems very reasonable that we can learn what this means about God by looking at what it means about man. So for the next video and next few videos, we're looking at this concept of how is man both plural and singular, and what might that suggest about the relationship between the Father and the Son.